How to sell memberships on Wix. Hey everyone and welcome. I hope you're all doing great. In this video I'll show you step by step how it works, how to set up memberships, and also how to sell subscriptions, that sort of stuff. So it's going to be more of a reoccurring payment sort of product. So now we're going to discuss this on the default Wix website. We're not going to be using Wix Studio, even though it says Wix Studio on the top left. Just remember this is not for Wix Studio. So, first thing, before we even dive into it, just so you know, so we don't really, show you later on that you don't really get the this feature if you don't have the premium plan for Wix. I'm sorry. So let's just rephrase that real quick. If you're using the free plan for Wix, you won't be able to sell memberships or subscriptions or really get paid in any way online through Wix. If you want to get paid, accept payments online, you will need to actually upgrade to premium. So with that being out of the way, let's just go ahead and get started and show you all the steps needed. The first thing is going to actually be setting up the the payments online. So to do so is going to be within these settings. You can just go and click on settings. And then from settings, you just want to go ahead and click on finance and payments, click on accept payments. Now this is going to be very simple. It's going to really depend on your location, by the way. For me, I'm going to have, I see Stripe, I see PayPal, and also more payment options down here. So you can actually go in and set up the payment methods that are going to suit you best. Now, obviously, I can't really speak for you because it really depends on your location, but maybe you will need to do a little bit of research. Usually, it's going to have Stripe and PayPal, however, because they're very, very popular. Especially PayPal for the PayPal payments and Stripe for the credit and debit card payments. So connect them and have some sort of a payment plan ready or payment method ready to go. This is going to be how you actually accept them. Now, with that being done, we can just go back to our site and click on Edit Site from the top right corner. Now, the reason we want to do this is because we actually need to install an app in order to sell memberships. Otherwise, we won't have the ability to do it with Wix. And mind you, this app is actually built by Wix. So this is going to be a Wix application. So once your site is open, you want to go to the left dashboard and you should be able to find add apps icon. So just go and click on that and this is going to open up the app market for you. From here, you simply just want to search up Wix pricing plans. Ignore the pirating, whatever I spelled here, but just type in pricing plans by Wix, and you should be able to find it right over here. So Wix pricing plans. Click on that and just click on add to site. You can actually see here sell packages, memberships, and subscriptions. Click on add to site. It shouldn't really take too long here and it should, do things for you, start adding pages for you and things like that. So just give it a second. Now, as you can see, we have this page which automatically it takes us here. And if we want to, we can actually go to pages and menu. And if we go to pages and menu, we should be able to find this new section, which is called pricing plans pages. We have the plans and pricing, paywall, checkout, and thank you. So these are all things that you can feel free to manage, especially the paywall one, which we are going to discuss later. But for now, let's actually manage the actual plans that are available and start creating some memberships. So, by the way, the paywall is pretty much the access, the area that can only be accessed through specific plans. This is pretty much what paywall here refers to. So now what we need to do is just go back and exit out of the editor, go back to our Wix dashboard and refresh the page. Now you should notice that we have the catalog one, which you may have, if you had the store already built in. If not, it's just going to show up here for you. So catalog, hover over it and then just go to pricing plans. This should be a new thing that shows up here. Click on pricing plans and now we can feel free to start managing them and adding them to our site. So click on get started and then we're just going to start by creating our first plan. So just click on the top right corner and click on create plan. Now obviously each one is going to be its own thing, so we're just going to let's just do the basic ones: bronze, silver, and gold. I'm not going to take you through each one of them. I think I'm just going to show you one and then you will figure out the rest. But let's say we want to create the bronze one. So we're just going to name it bronze. Oh, membership. Like so. And then if you want to give it a description, which I highly recommend that you do, basically just go in and add what this plan is actually going to offer and the different things that are going to be available. So it's going to be more like not listing them, because you have the option to actually list them here, but more of a, just letting people know exactly what they'll be getting and trying to entice them to actually, subscribe to it. Next up, you can feel free to add an image to it, which I highly recommend that you do. So just go and click on that, and I'm just going to select a random color here, as if this is the bronze one. And then from here, you can feel free to start listing the different features that are available. I'm just going to add a description and a few features just so we can actually see them in the preview on the right side here. You can actually see here for the description, I just did, this is a dummy description, and whatever you actually write is just going to reflect on the preview on the right side. Same goes here if we just want to add the different features. So future 1, and then we can just do enter, and it's just going to add the second one for you. 2, 3, 4, and you get the idea. Next up is going to be the different benefits, so we can actually go ahead and change that as well. So how to connect more benefits is pretty much you will need to actually go ahead and go back to the actual benefits settings and create benefits first, and then set them up to be for this plan. Hopefully that actually made sense, but this is pretty much how it works. But I'm just going to skip that right now and go to the pricing options here. So this is going to be recurring payments by default, and this is pretty much what we want, right? So it's just going to be there. If you want it to be a one-time payment, sure, you can feel free to go for that, or even free. But if it's reoccurring, you just want to list the price. And then once you list the price, depending on the actual currency, just make sure you have that sorted. And then you can just go in and change the payment frequency. It usually is going to be monthly, but you can even make it weekly, yearly, or even custom. I'm just going to stick to monthly, and then I'm just going to leave the length of plan to until canceled. Now, if you want it to be 3 months only, up to 6 months only, up to 12, it's up to you, but it's usually going to be until canceled. Now, if you want to charge them a setup fee, just tick this, and if you want to enable a free trial, just tick this and set up the proper settings for each one of them. You do also get more settings here, like a limit to 1 subscription per customer. If you don't understand what any of these mean, just read the description for them and you should be able to understand them real quick. I'm not going to really dive deep into each setting here at the bottom. Go ahead and click on save, and now you should be able to have your plan here. Now I'm just going to create another one. I'm just going to do one more, and then we can just go in and see how it's actually going to look like and how to set up the paywall and things like that. So now that I created 2 different plans, let's just go and see them in action. So we go to pages and menu, we go to pricing plans, pages, and we go to plans and pricing. This is going to be the pricing page, so we can actually go in and view that and see the different pricings and also the features and descriptions. So people are obviously going to be able to choose whichever one that you actually wanted to go with, and be able to subscribe from this page right here. Okay, great. So what about the paywall? Because right now, if you just open up the paywall page, it's just going to let us know that this is going to be restricted and people can't access it unless you have a specific plan. So how do we bypass this or even create pages for specific plans? I'm not going to create a new page, but for you, you simply just want to obviously just create a blank page and start editing it however you actually like. But I have a bunch of pages here, so I'm just going to pick one real quick. So let's just go to site menu. Let's just say we want to use the link in bio. Let's say we just created a new page, which is the link in bio, and now we want it to only be restricted for specific memberships only. So not everyone can access it, only members. So it's very simple. Just go and click on the 3 dots right next to it and go to settings. From settings, you simply just want to go to permissions. And then from permissions, by default, is going to be who can access this page to everyone. You want to change this to site members. And then from here, you want to go ahead and select what members are going to have the ability to actually access this. So If it's all members, then it's pretty much all members, but we want it to be specific members, and then we want it to be members with plan subscriptions. So make sure you tick this and make sure you go to manage plans and select the plans that can actually access this. So in theory, you can actually go ahead and create pages with bronze access only, and you can just go ahead and change this so that it's only bronze membership people can access this, or you can just change it so it's silver or even both. And it's always going to be from the same place. Just go to site menu, go to that page that you just created, settings, permissions, tick this, and it's pretty much good to go. You're pretty much good to go. So with that being said, this is pretty much all for this video. Hopefully you found it to be informative and helpful, and thanks for watching.